In the headlines, the Prime Minister announces a new climate school for Barbados. A strong plea for Barbadians to cease and desist from dumping dead animals and waste materials. Bahamian police investigate the slaying of one of their own. And in sports, West Indies women lose the ODI series to South Africa.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tisha Hines with the details to the news. A mother and daughter have been charged for $750,000 worth of illegal drugs. They are Beverly Cassandra Smith, 63, and Ruth Lee Ayodele Williams, 27, both of Lot 474, number 6 Crystal Crescents, Kingsland Terrace, Christchurch. They are set to appear in court tomorrow, having been charged with possession of 15.35 kilograms of cocaine, as well as intent to supply and trafficking of the illegal drug. The drugs carry a street value of $750,000. The alleged offences occurred on June 12th at the same address. Smith and Williams are scheduled to appear before Magistrate Deirdre McKenna in the Oistins Magistrates Court. Barbados continues to work towards advancing its domestic payment system infrastructure to be more exclusive, efficient and resilient. Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Dr. Kevin Greenidge, says modernizing the national payment system will integrate the payments network. He says this includes promoting real-time settlement for retail and wholesale transaction, empower micro and medium-sized businesses, and also support greater systems, transparency, security, standardization, and interoperability. Dr. Greenidge was addressing the opening of the two-day regional instant payments workshop at the Central Bank of Barbados.
We expect to see a lowering of transaction costs, operating costs, settlement times, all the while promoting financial inclusion. Across the globe, far and wide, you find that the central banks are leading this most successful implications of the implementation of the faster payment system. The efforts are ensuring that the national payment system remains safe, it remains efficient, and it remains accessible to all, especially the underserved and the underbanked.
Dr. Greenidge adds that the central bank has a responsibility to provide a payment system which will not only keep pace with innovation, but will also benefit all citizens, the financial sector, and the economy as a whole.
We've placed strong emphasis on making sure we have the state-of-the-art. We've placed strong emphasis on making sure we have best international standards. While we expect that we will achieve interoperability, we'll be able to build a solid foundation, one of robust governance and strong cyber mechanism. We are very eager to learn from our regional partners' experience.
Chief Agriculture Officer Michael James wants Barbadians to stop dumping. Mr. James says dumping of dead animals and waste materials significantly contributes to soil erosion and degradation. The chief spoke about the issue while opening the Climate Smart Agriculture Compliant Training for Trainers workshop, where he said the ministry has embarked on a number of initiatives to stop and prevent soil erosion.
We know what happens. We know the first place you go and throw your garbage, especially the dogs and the animals, they look for the nearest what? The well and the plantations, make easy for the night and straight down there. Has an impact on our water supply. So the more soil gets into those wells, we don't clean them, the more difficult then for them to do what they're supposed to do, pull away the water. And if you pass through Barbados, a lot of the times when we get a lot of rain, you realize a lot of fields are flooded because a lot of the wells have not been cleaned. So the NICAR program was supposed to do that.
The Climate Smart Agriculture Initiative encourages sustainable land management and restoration of degraded land. Under the Caribbean Small Island Developing States Multi-Country Soil Management Initiative for Integrated Landscape Restoration and Climate Resilient Food Systems, countries in the region have identified hot spots for interventions. Mr. James encouraged the participants to utilize what they learned during the workshop.
And you must let persons know that. Treat the soil with care. You know, put in your organic manure. There's a reason why you put in organic manure. All right? So these things you must be able to let people know. I think one of the failures of the ministry of us is that we do things, but we don't let people know what we do. And secondly, why we do it. So when we come out, we usually come out and do things, why I come like a farmer. We don't tell people this is the reason. So some people have the opinion, these people might just come to humbug me. Soil conservationists want to come and mess up my land. But there's a reason. There's a reason we tell you when you plow, how you cultivate your land to prevent soil erosion. All of that has to do with it.
Coming up, exam results are in, and we hear from the top primary school students. The island's top primary school students will be off to their school of choice come September. Kaya Walcott at Wills Primary School amassed a score of 241.46 with a grade B to gain the coveted top spot in this year's Barbados Secondary School's entrance examination. She has gained a place at Harrison College.
I feel amazing. It's a very nice feeling. My preparation was reviewing my concepts and practicing my compositions.
Meanwhile, at St. Paul's Primary, Giovanni Carmichael says he is excited to go to QC. He says he did not expect to be named the top boy, although he expected to gain a place at his first choice. Giovanni earned 240.9 and a grade B.
I thought I was gonna do very good. I was bragging about that I was gonna get like 100 in at least one subject. So my father sent me to extra lessons. I reviewed some of the videos in the Google Classroom that was posted by my teacher, Miss Brewster. And my mother encouraged me to focus more when Miss Brewster is teaching, and I did that.
Congratulations to all of the children. Now to some news from the festival. From working with a host of local artists to producing some of the island's biggest reggae rhythms for almost a decade, Randy Eastman continues to blaze a trail with his company, Quantum Productions, describing the 20-year journey as a roller coaster ride with several highs and lows and a few plateaus in between. He credits his career in music production to being a member of the band Electric, seeing the creation of songs and being around the likes of Pernell Farley, Chris Allman and Anthony Lohar. Eastman recently hosted a listening party for the launch of his album for this year. Rachel Agard has the story.
Above everything, music producer Randy Eastman is grateful for the support throughout his musical career. His first production, My Boo, by Marsville and Jamaican artist Hawkeye, was as a result of the leadership of the then Electric Band investing confidence in him. The rest is history, as Quantum Productions continues to be a leader in the music industry. An otherwise quiet individual, but a force to be reckoned with on many a musical instrument, Eastman recently launched his 20-song platinum anniversary album, Supra Omnia. Deputy Prime Minister Santia Bradshaw says she is proud of Eastman and his journey, as well as the passion and dedication he has brought to the sector.
Randy, you have been a producer, you have been a mentor, you've been a musician, you've been a collaborator, you have been a teacher. And I recall when you were at Parkinson Memorial School, Of course, that's in my constituency, so I guess I was a little biased, but I enjoyed the fact that you would take young people, raw talent, young people who people sometimes discard, and hone them and get the best out of them. So all of the shows, I could see the love and the commitment that you had to your artists. And you didn't just do it on your own, you brought along all of the musicians in this room and all of your colleagues to get the best out of our young people.
Senior Youth Commissioner at the Ministry of Youth, Elizabeth Bowen, recalls she first came into contact with Eastmond 24 years ago through the ministry's Youth Achieving Results program, where he assisted students to hone their creative talents.
A lot of young persons were able to benefit from the program organized by the Ministry of Youth in collaboration with the National Cultural Foundation. So tonight, Randy, I salute you on behalf of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment. I wish you well in your continued production of music, and I'm quite certain that Randy would go on, as he has done before, to lend his skills and talent to development of young persons across Barbados.
The man of the moment has pledged to continue working with the island's youth and is set to launch the Quantum Legacy Foundation. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Well, we're happy to see Anne-Marie Burke, but the news is not so good. Hey, Anne-Marie.
Hey, good evening to you, Tisha. The Barbados Surfing Association held its 4th Surfer of the Year contest at Brandon Surf Break Drill Hall Beach over the last weekend in a highly contestable 4 to 5 foot waves. Barbados' top junior surfers continued to display progressive surfing as 13-year-old Daniel Banfield won both the under 16 and under 14 boys divisions, while Trent Corbin was second in both divisions. In the under 14 boys, Banfield ended with a heat total of 13.50, while Corbin scored a 13.44, with Kian Brits taking third. In the boys under 16 division, Kristen Stout was third. Meanwhile, Tommaso Layson remains undefeated in the under 18 boys for the 2025 Surf of the Year series, taking his 4th win, while Corbin continued to display his talent against the older boys with another 2nd place finish. Christian Stout, who had the highest wave score of the event, a 9.17, took 3rd place. Now, Bruce Mackey, winner of the Barbados Independence Surf Pro at Soup Bowl last November, took the win in the open men's division, with Louis St. John battling hard to place a close 2nd. 3rd was Barbados' top international male surfer Joshua Burke. Among the females, Barbados' top-ranked international surfer Chelsea Tuak remains undefeated as she took her 4th straight win this year, continuing to dominate the open women's division. Chelsea Roy was 2nd, while her ever-improving twin sisters Haley and Amy Godson were 3rd and 4th respectively. Haley additionally went on to be crowned both the under 18 and under 16 girls champion, while Amy was 2nd in both divisions. In the longboard division, Noah Campbell, who will be representing Barbados early next month at the PASA Games in Guatemala, took the win. 2nd was up-and-coming longboarder Tristan Brits. The Grand Masters division, open to surfers 40 years and older, again features several past champions, with coach Zed Layson coming out on top. Nicky Marshall was 2nd and Barry Banfield in 3rd. The novice division was won by the British surfer Jude Cummings. And the island's top surfers open are the island's top open surfers are preparing to represent Barbados at the Pan American Surf Association Games, which take place from July 3rd to 13th in Playa Rosario, Guatemala. Leading the charge will be Chester Tuak, who will be accompanied by top junior Tommaso Layson, the standout Rafael Goodin, and the current #1 longboarder Noah Campbell.
The Business Report, brought to you by the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, a department of the Ministry of Youth and Community Empowerment, supporting young entrepreneurs from idea to enterprise.
A new climate school is set to be built in Barbados. Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley has announced that construction of the new Chelston Academy in Chelston Park, Hollomer Rock, will start soon and should be completed within a year. She says government is partnering with the U.S.-based XQ Institute on the development of the new school located adjacent to RBC Royal Bank Barbados Limited. It will serve as a model for 21st century learning in the Caribbean. She made the announcement while delivering the feature address at the opening of the Oceania Innovation Hub in Carlisle Bay, which is aimed at fostering innovation and education transformation. It's another collaborative initiative between government and XQ Institute.
To recognize that we can lead the world by creating the Barbados Climate School, which will focus on persons from 4th form and 5th form, the lower 6 and upper 6, recognizing that on a parallel track, we will also create a similar school for robotics and AI, because without these tools of resilience and inquisitiveness and capacity, our children are liable to become victims of this world rather than shapers of their destiny and firm craftsmen of their fate.
The Sustainability Designed Facility, located on the grounds of the former Coastal Zone Management Unit on Carlisle Bay, is a dynamic space focused on ocean innovation, climate research, student empowerment, and future-ready learning. Prime Minister Maudsley says the initiative represents a key pillar of government's ambitious education transformation agenda, which is committed to ensuring that every child has access to fair, inclusive, relevant, and modern education that unlocks their full potential.
This is a journey that requires each and every one of us to participate and to prepare our children, to prepare our people, to become resilient, to recognize that we need to benefit from that which is ours, which is not only land, but the ocean, to understand it, not to be afraid of it.
The work of past and present cohorts will help to make up the Small Island Future Festival this weekend. Back after a 6-year layoff, it has as its theme Small Island's Big Future and is aimed at bringing awareness to sustainability issues and concepts. It will include elements of the blue and green economies, as well as overtones toward the orange economy. The Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme is partnering with the Ashley Lashley Foundation to bring the event to fruition. Officials are in the final stages of putting on the event. CBC's Trevor Thorpe has been following the developments.
Sustainability will be brought into sharp focus at the 2-day festival, which will include a cross-section of events to keep the interest of exhibitors and patrons. Youth Ambassador Ashley Lashley says it is age neutral and therefore it's for the whole family.
The Small Island Future Festival is the event in which will teach you your role in taking care of our environment, but also learning about the innovations behind climate change, sustainability, the blue and the green economy. And this is why we have to also acknowledge special thanks to the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, because one crucial component of this year's Small Island Future Festival is the youth entrepreneurs who will be present. Those young agriculturalists, those young persons who are creating natural soaps, natural juices, they would be present to really showcase the innovative talent and potential of our young people. So that gives you more opportunity to come out and buy some goodies to carry home. The next day is Sunday. I'm sure many of you may want something to cook.
The Youth Ambassador tells the Yes Business Report the festival has a packed and diversified agenda and is a free event.
To bring in the fusion of the excitement of what sustainability truly represents, we'll be having from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. each day the concerts. The Friday is the Future of Jazz with Zukili Innes and friends, and on Saturday we will have a phenomenal lineup of soca artists at the Small Island Future Festival, UWK under the graduating tent. So you can come out at 6 to 8 to witness TC, Mikey, who is also one of our ambassadors, like Pipe and Sadis, and so much more other brilliant Barbadian artists would be performing.
Yes manager Ryan Mosley says the festival is a perfect fit for Yes, and they are eager to see the success, leading it to becoming a staple on the annual calendar.
we recognize that this would be another area where our young persons who are involved in promoting sustainable products and services would have an opportunity to showcase their products to the market. We have young persons who are doing great work with things like the sargassum, seaweed, natural products, natural juices, natural herbs, and this would be another occasion for them to express their talents to the public in a forum where sustainability is the key component of the whole exercise.
The venue for the festival is under the UE tent at the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies and starts at 9 a.m. on both days. It is a small grants program initiative of the UNDP. Trevor Thorpe for the Yes Business Report.
Barbadian Public Relations Agency PRMR Incorporated has won the prestigious Gold Quill Award from the International Association of Business Communications. The local company lifted the citation in the publications category for its Diabetes Today magazine. It is only the second time that an entry from the Caribbean has won the Gold Quill Award. Diabetes Today is designed to raise awareness of non-communicable diseases through informative, entertaining, and reader-friendly features. Established in 2007, the agency serves a diverse client base across the Caribbean region in services such as communications, counseling and strategy, crisis communications, media management and training, event planning, and website building.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Well, Anne-Marie is back, and even though she's switching sports, still bad news for the ladies.
Unfortunately, Tisha, this time around, Barbados women have lost their opening match at the Caribbean Senior Table Tennis Championships being played at the Wildy Gym. The Bajan women went down to Cuba 3-0 in the best-of-5 team contest. First on the table was Antoinette Riley, and she lost in straight sets to Daniela Fonseca at 3-11, 3-11, 4-11. Angela Reid was next, and she was defeated 3-1 by Estela Crespo Estela at 6-11, 6-11, 11-7, 3-11. Finally, Krista Harvey also went down 3-1 to Carla Perez Gonzalez at 11-9, 8-11, 4-11, 2-11. Now today, June 17th, marks an important milestone for the Barbados Olympic Association as it celebrates 70 years of community service. Members of the local Olympic Committee got the week of activities started with a Thanksgiving service at the Church of Christ the King on Sunday. President of Barbados, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason, was present at the service, which also aimed to bless and show appreciation for the entity that has helped to groom sports in Barbados. BOA President Sandra Osborne says a number of celebratory activities will be held this year.
Throughout the course of this year, we are undertaking a number of activities to commemorate the 70th anniversary while continuing our work and promoting the Olympic values in our Olympic Academy and Olympic Museum. This year also marks the start of a new quadrennium, taking us to Los Angeles 2028. We have therefore finalized our strategy and have recommitted to providing support, both financial and otherwise, to athletes, coaches, sports administrators, technical officials, and community leaders.
Ms. Osborne highlighted the number of regional and international meets Barbados will be represented at in the next few years.
We also plan to send teams to the Junior Pan Am Games in Paraguay later this year and the Central American and Caribbean Games in the Dominican Republic, the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in Scotland, and the Youth Olympic Games in Dakar, Senegal next year. And then in 2027, we go to Lima for the Pan Am Games, and then of course the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028.
The Reverend Davison Boyne, in his sermon, encouraged the BOA to continue the role they play in helping the youth of the country through sports.
Play green, live clean. It is in our nature. It is a sustainable strategy and policy which was recently launched by the BOA. So the intention is to use sport as a catalyst for environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and sustainable development across the island. That is the Trinity. That is the Trinity being lived out. This is God at work through sport, fostering relationships, sharing love, caring for an environment, and by extension, generations to come.
Both Christchurch Foundation boys and girls teams have advanced to the Friday's semifinals of the National Sports Council's secondary schools volleyball competition. Playing at home in the quarterfinals, CCFS girls defeated Queen's College, while the boys team took down Allen School in straight sets as well. CBC's Damien Best reports.
Quarterfinal action featuring Christchurch Foundation versus Queen's College in the red and white. One of the better rallies of the first set, Soraya McKenna with the kill. Some level of luck involved in sports and CCFS working that theory. Chanel Ward somehow with that left hand finds some open space in the middle of the court. QC said two can play that game. Very next play, Josiah Coward celebrating, very smart indeed, dumps it over. Well done. The ace would follow. Foundation failing to keep the play alive, but the hosts would regroup to take the first set at 25-15. No one willing to go for the jugular, and QC blinks first. Their mistake. Add one more to Foundation. Second set change of ends. QC on the back foot early, off the fingertips and outside. Added to that, the service lethal, dips and lands safely in front court. Brilliant. QC in dire need of an injection of energy into their game. The defense to the rescue. Big time rejection at the net from Ariel Ward. Then the free ball touches down in the corner pocket of the court. Things on the up and up for the girls from Husbands. But Foundation still had a bit of daylight in the scorers column, and every point from this stage moved them closer to victory, and they would eventually close out the contest in two straight, 25-15, 25-21. The boys next up, Allen School in the far court versus Foundation. Rashawn Holder wins the one-on-one battle against Davis at the net. Malachi Pooler with the serve. Kyrie Jordan can't execute the dig, and that's the ace. Allen seemed to have to work a little bit harder for their points. A mad scramble to keep the ball in play, and eventually a Johnny Clark exposes the space in the backcourt. Point Allen School. That was the left side. Now the right proving fruitful. Matterson inch perfect down the line. But it was CCFS to take the first set, 25-19. Another intriguing rally. Where would the winner come from? Off the block and in. Second set, change of end, serve got big on Ishmael Hines. Point to Foundation. Couple plays later, DeMario Carrington has some pace on the serve. Point Allen School. Make that two in a row. The man with the golden arm. But Foundation will come roaring back. Perfect setup for a thunderous spike. Rogers in the zone. The defense coming to the party as well. Went says not in my house. Foundation just too good in the end, easing to the victory in style at 25-20, taking the match in two straight sets.
Well, that's news. Thank you so much for spending the time with us. On behalf of the entire crew, do enjoy the rest of your night.